So, hello there. I wanted to give you a quick view of the garden, and this is the sandbed that I was telling you about. And in the sandbed, there's a complete mix there of aeoniums, eryngiums, sea lavender. There's a pampas, not pampas grass. What do you call it? Papyrus. There's perennials like that. Clover, ornamental clover, and grasses. And this fella down here is the erodium that's just going to come into flower now shortly. And euphorbias, not doing as great as I thought they would, but they're there anyway. Nymphophias, and look at there's self-sewn foxgloves. So it's doing pretty well. There's a stachys at the back as well, actually, that I'm looking at as well. That's that lovely one, Humelo, I think it's called, or Humelo. It's Pete Outdove's garden's name, or however you pronounce that. So I think it's doing pretty well. It is, as I said, about maybe 8 to 10 inches of Ballylust dust that is sitting on hardcore. And you wash all the soil off the plants before you put them in. And this bed is in now about, I don't know, what's that? God, well before, probably about 4 years. So it's doing really well. And again, in the really hot summers, you don't have to water this at all. I mean, on a very rare occasion, you might have to do one water, and that is it. Extraordinary. It's absolutely extraordinary. Fascinates me endlessly how these things grow in it, but they do. And I move this stuff in and out. You see, there's two beautiful sempervirens, not sempervirens. What are they called again? That's a lovely one called it's a Pachyvera. Yeah, Empress. And this one is called, it's an Echeveria, isn't it? Yeah, Ebony. So there are two that I brought back from England. Oh shit, be saying things like that. And then this is a kind of semi-shade bed, and it's very green at the moment, but it does actually come into lovely colours soon. There's kind of a rambling rose in there, and there's the Nepeta, and there's crocosmias. I've loads of crocosmias, tons of them, and there's a lovely Telectrum going up, and then it has this amazing rose that's kind of really prolific to flower, but short-lived. They only live, the flowers only last for about 3 weeks, and I must seriously try cutting it back 1 year and see if it actually reflowers, but it's a big job. So anyway, if we go on down the garden, and you can literally see from here how big the garden is. That mirror is the end of the garden, and there is the lovely Tetrapanax in flower. So the central bed here, we'll come to that last, but the central bed is more like a big container, really, and I treat it like a container, so it needs to have something interesting in it all the time, and that's hard enough to do, yourself, and that whole succession of having one after another, having another. Oh my God, look at that, I've just seen it. That is a flippin' Tetrapanax growing in there. Do you see that? Oh my God, that's a self-seeded. And I was so disappointed because I've often heard that Tetrapanax seed everywhere, and it's never seeded for me. And it's in about, I don't know, God knows how many years now at this stage, and it's never ever seeded. So there it is. Look at that. How cool. So, don't know what I'm going to do with that. Try and move it maybe. I don't know. It's the wrong plant in the wrong place. And here's just a little seating area, but there's Myrtus communis. And I just lifted up the crown of it because it is it's a big blob. Now it looks a bit bare at the moment. That's just because I cut another little bit off it, but I'm going to prune that nicely, kind of cloud prune it, and it'll look a bit better. And then that fella there is my Schefflera, and as you can see, those leaves out at the moment are going to drop. And then the new leaves, if you can see, are just above it. And they are my canopy for the little sitting area here. And then this bed here, so there's loads of Tilichtrums, Babington leeks. This fella here is an Actia that has self-seeded everywhere. Can you see that? So there's loads of different variations in it now with the seedlings. So we'll see if anything nice comes out of it. But it has gone everywhere. I should do something about it. And there's a lovely Rogersia. Beautiful Rogersia. Just actually going to come into flower soon. Astelia's in there. And a big Daphne, which is beautiful, of course, in springtime. And there's my Tetrapanics, my lovely Tetrapanics. Excellent. Good on you. And this is a complete... So my garden, as I said, is a south-facing garden. But you know yourself, there's always a north-facing wall. And in here then is kind of where the north-facing, or the shady plants are. Now this is a very, very shady corner. And it's just not working at the moment. There is loads of ferns in there and loads of other bits and bobs, but it's really like do you see down there, there is the Hacknacloa, there's lovely Podophyllum, there's other bits and pieces, bugle and stuff like that. But it's not working, it's too gappy and I need to do something with it. I have another situation in that the fence is falling down. It's about 20 years old at this stage and Declan put it up, so it wasn't the best in the world, but it is really affecting my gorgeous Fatsia. Do you see my Fatsia in there? So I need to do something about that before it wrecks the Fatsia altogether. The only problem, of course, is it's got 20 years of climbers growing on it, hence it's been probably held up by the climbers. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Anyway, so down into this bit here we have a lovely tree fern with ferns underneath it, and then a couple of nice little shady plants. There's epimediums in there, and what's that fella called again? I've no glasses on. Oh, I can't pronounce it. Can you see that? Yeah, not even going to try. Forget that one. Various other little bits and pieces in there as well. That, of course, is, I can't remember what it's called. I'll think of it. And then more shady in here this is the real shady area now in here. And in here we have pretty little things like a load of different begonias. You see that gorgeous one there? That is, wait, I'll pull it back a little bit. That is Sycamensis, Begonia Sycamensis, which is a cool plant. And that is a lovely variegated Solomon seal. There's Francoa in there. There's more. There's about 3 or 4 really good begonias that are going to come up in here. There's another beauty there as well, just been eaten a little bit. And there's loads of other bits and bobs in there as well. But the ground cover there is Galium odoratum, which is a great ground cover. It's woodruff and it is super. A few other bits and pieces like ferns, and of course the cosmea goes everywhere, but anyway, I should not to worry about that. And then up here we have the bamboo, and the bamboo is the bane of my life. I'm just over it now. Over it! In a small garden, bamboo is a bit of a pain. It is great in so many ways, in that you get the lovely sound and the noise, and it's great for cover and all the rest of it. But it is a dirty plant. It drops its leaves everywhere. They flip it, and these lovely sheets that go around the combs, they are comb sheets. They are a pain in the butt. They drop everywhere. Plus, if you want it to not look big and bulky like it is at the moment, I have a job to do, and I do it every year, and it is... Yeah, I hate doing it, but it is basically where I clean down all these stems and take out all that bulk so that you only see the lovely kind of bare stems in it. Now, there's a trick to this. Wait, I have to see if I can find one here now. If you find, maybe we'll get one here, will we? Yeah, we will. So, if, like this one here, so basically what I'm trying to get rid of is, wait till I see if I can find a good one to show you. Yeah, do you see these side growths that come out, which makes it very top heavy and very bulky? So if you want nice clean stems like this guy here, all the way down, clean stems, then there's a little trick. A friend of mine, Kim, showed me this one. So, oh no, that one's gone a bit far. Wait, we go down a wee bit more. So basically what you do is you peel off the sheet, and then come around to where the little growth bud is, around here. And then with your nail or with a knife, it's better because you get a cleaner cut. I'm making the bags of this now, but take a nice sharp knife and just cut out that bud, and you will not get those side shoots. Wait till I just show you one now that's just gone too far that I missed, and you'll see what I mean. So here's one that's gone on, and if we pull back that sheet, that's the start of the side. And now you see, if I can still take this off, of course, but you're going to get a much bigger scar on it. You see this kind of lumpy bit that you get on it? So that isn't as attractive as the lovely clean stems. A clean stem there. So, big job ahead of me. See, there's more there. Big job ahead of me. Down here. To clean those. Yeah, pain in the butt job, but anyway. The other thing I wanted to just show you is this has flowered. This bamboo, or is about to flower. Now, that means that it, with any luck, is going to have its final days and die on me. I may rue the day that I said that's good luck, because it's going to be a job and a half to try and get him out. But anyway, normally they kind of die after they have flowered. But you know something? It has had a good innings. That is probably the guts of 30 years old, I'd say, at this stage, that plant. Yeah, easily 30 years old. So it's had a good innings, and it's time for it to go. And I can put something else in. Now, let me just show you the kiwi, which is another mess up that I did this year. Normally, I prune this late spring, so kind of March, April. And I didn't get to it this year. I just didn't get a chance to do it. So it has gone bananas. And of course, now it's flowering. So the flower buds are just coming on it. And of course, I can't take it off now. So I am going to have a right mess to deal with in, November, December kind of time. November probably anyway. Because if I don't control that and prune it, it is rampant and goes everywhere. There's a couple of other climbers already on that. Another one that I never intended having, and I don't know where it's actually come from, is Clematis armandii. You know, that lovely one that comes out in springtime, but it's very vigorous as well. And then there is also this one here, which I don't know if I can see any flowers. Oh, maybe there's one flower left in it. This is a beautiful plant. Can you see those little pinky flowers? So about a month ago, that was covered in pink flowers, and it's Holboia. And Holboia is a great climber. There it is there. Oh no, that's armandii. Sorry, that's armandii. And it is a great climber. Absolutely beautiful, and it goes everywhere and super. But if I particularly wanted it because it has a lovely edible fruit, of course. But if I want the edible fruit, I need a friend for it, and I don't have space for that. So I don't know what I'll do with that. Someday I'll buy a field, is all I'm saying. Now, so this is here then the spring bed. And the spring bed is normally full of snowdrops and aconites and trilliums and, all of those beauties. But of course, they've gone down now, and up comes the sweet cicely, the comfrey, mallows. That beauty down there is Crambe cordifolia, and that's going to have a fabulous white flower on it. And there's a lovely white pheum. Do you see that one? Geranium pheum, white album. And it is a great plant. And of course, look at this beauty. That is Solomon's seal. And I mean, look at it. There's so many different types of those polygonatums, like Solomon's seal and discorums, and there's tons of them, and they are all absolutely brilliant. But I just think you can't miss. You can't beat the old Solomon seal, just the standard Solomon seal. It's a great plant. Those flowers are also edible, by the way, and they are very tasty. Yeah, delicious. Oh, full of nectar. Now, this one is just going slightly over now, but it's Crataegus Paul Scarlet. And it's, again, another super tree for a small garden, but not my small garden. My garden is too small for this one. And to control it, I have to prune this all the time. It drives me crazy. It's another huge job. Because again, do you know, the other side to it too is I'm living in an estate and I have nowhere to compost, and it's a pain in the butt trying to get rid of green waste like that. So I'm I tend to have tons of green waste. But look at it, it's beautiful and it's absolutely super. Those flowers are edible, they make gorgeous teas. The leaves are brilliant too. Super plant to have in the garden. It also has a clematis going up it. I don't know if you can see it up the very top there, but I'll swing around the other side and we'll see it. So then just looking in at this bed, and we have a few beautiful things in here. So this one is Amsonia, and it has the nicest green, or not green, china blue flowers. They're not out yet, but you'll see them coming out of this little area here, and they are just stunning, 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 stunning. That is Ranunculus aconitifolium, I think. I could be wrong on that. It's Ranunculus, all right, but could be that. And you see the one above it? That is Silene dioica, red campion. Great plant as well. And again, when we were over in Wales, it was everywhere. It's very popular this year. Obviously, it's a wild plant, native plant. And then there's a beautiful chrysanthemum in there. See this gorgeous thing? So that is, I can't remember the common name for it, but it's basically wild geum. Avians, see, water avians, oh gosh, wood avians, I think it's the common name for it. I love it, absolutely love it. And there is a Martican lily, a couple of Martican lilies in there, and there's Aquilasias, a bit of bronze fennel, and there'll be loads of different things coming up in here. There's rudbeckias and eupatoriums, and what else is there? There's asters, and there is crocosmia everywhere. I have tons of crocosmia. So crocosmia coming up everywhere. But at the moment, the kind of colour is the Aquilasias. There's Nora Barlow. That's just a kind of a bog standard one. But there's Nora Barlow there. And she's around a few places. They're great. This little one then swinging around here a wee bit. This is Acer. It's either palmatum or madarensis, but I'm nearly sure it's palmatum. I think madarensis is kind of a different leaf on it, but it is a great flower. It does self-seed everywhere, but they're easy to get rid of, and they are certainly great for passing on to friends. But they are super they kind of grow on nothing and hang over the edge. They do get in the way, but I cut them back all the time. Like, I don't know if you can see down here, but I took a whole heap of it out. See down there? So it was getting in my way, and it can just, and you can pull it out and start again. Like, it's really easy plant. What else do we have in here? More Aquilasias. There's another lovely little geum coming up. Isn't that a pretty little one? Very short-lived now, that one. It only flowers for about 2 weeks, and then it's gone. And there's salvias in here, aeoniums. That little fella there is Schizostylus. I'm sure that's renamed to something else now. Anyway, Schizostylus, or Kaffir lily, Astrantia. There's a Stilby in there. There is also heaps of, that lovely deep magenta gladiola, the very simple gladiola that comes out now. Gosh, I wish I could think of the name of it. And then more salvia, the ordinary blue salvia there. But there is also this little salvia that has a gorgeous flower on it too, which is coming out soon. This is the green Hacknacloa, just the standard Hacknacloa, so that is coming on lovely. And then there is drumstick alliums everywhere. Look at that fella, traces. Just underneath the poppies there, that's the tetrapanics. There's a beautiful Ligularia, look at that one. Isn't that gorgeous? That is a beautiful Ligularia. And end of the old forget-me-nots, a couple of self-seeded, what do you call them? Good God, foxgloves. More, that's of course totally tangerine, which, look at this combination, isn't that amazing? So that totally tangerine with that beautiful pink, that magenta pink colour is just gorgeous. I love those clashing colours. There's penstemon there in the back. And then this perennial honesty is the best value plant ever. Jimmy gave me this one, but it's literally in flower for 2 months now, I'd say. And then it's now starting to put on these beautiful seeds. You see those? And the flower arrangers among you will know that they go, beautifully silver, and they're gorgeous. There's lovely Linaria, the tall kind of straggly, the tall spiky one over there is Linarias. They're wild. They just come up everywhere, and self-seed everywhere. There is more salvias in there, asters. There's dahlias in there. A few other bits and pieces. I've started cleaning out. That's why it's gone a bit gappy here. This lovely one, you can't even see it at the moment. It's down there, the wooden stick bit. But that is going to be that gorgeous Senecio cristobalensis. Big, gorgeous, purpley red leaves on it. Really beautiful. And then when there's a few other places, that's that lovely, well, it doesn't look lovely now because the dog has been standing on it. But that is that Lichnus coronaria, that one. And then there's that lovely low-growing comfrey. Love that one. But there is the big comfrey in there as well that I cut all the time. And then that is a Restio. Yeah, Restio, I think. And it's done really well. But tons. Can you see all the crocosmia in it? I do love crocosmia, and there's a total mix. There's probably about 12 different crocosmias in the garden, maybe even more actually. They really are good. I do love them. But as I said, this bed changes all the time, and I'm forever having to pull bits in to stick bits out. Put bits in, but kind of edit as you're going along. As soon as something goes over, you cut it down. See, there's a lovely another, just to make space. There's another lovely foxglove that, by the looks of it, is not going to be one of the wild ones. Could be white, might be peach by the look of it. But yeah, so eupatoriums to come up, big height in it at times. It does get very full, but what I wanted in this bed was that cultivated wild look. That kind of like it hasn't been designed and nature did the job. That kind of way. So that was the idea. You might just have a quick goozy at my fig. Look at that. And there's tons of them on it. And I found a great way to prune that fig. So a job will be done next year. This is my completely shady area. Actually, it's the messy area. That's where I do all the potting. But I got some lovely dry shade ferns, specifically dry shade ferns from Mike and Chitty Plants. So I put them in there. And then there's a little kind of, it was meant to be an allium bed, but sure, again, lost the run of myself, but there are some lovely stuff in it. That's a beautiful Daphne there, a little miniature Daphne. That is a very unusual myrtle. And then there's sea drift and a few other bits and pieces. Anyway, if we move back a little bit, and then there's kind of beds here, but I just want to show you these guys. So these are the sort of height in that bed. And they are Pseudopanax tuatara. And these guys here, this is their juvenile leaf. And when it matures, when it gets to its adult form, it loses that leaf altogether and puts on a completely normal leaf. So that's not what I want. So I chop them. And I chop the tops off them, keep them in that sort of lollipop shape. Certainly brilliant for the moment. They cast no shade on that bed. And they are just brilliant for giving that little extra dimension into the bed. And then if I just pull back, I forgot to show you the clematis. That's it there. That one's just going slightly over. So that goes up. Again, it's not brilliant, but it's grand for doing this job. But as I said, in the Scheffler, look at the Scheffler. Love that Scheffler. Tetrapanax. So, a lot of big stuff in the garden. Oh, there's another Pseudopanax over there as well, which is another great one. That's behind I'll show you in the shady area. That again is a big, huge one, and I just crown lift it all the time. They're all part of the Ivy family. Well, certainly that one is anyway, the Ivy family. yeah, so there you go. That's it. Very messy at the moment. That was a completely unedited and uncleaned garden, apart from the little bit of weeding that I did just to clean it out a little bit. But apart from that, everything else is messy as hell. But it's my mess and I love it. And it's great. So, there you have it. See you later.